Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Thursday. And hopefully, y'all started off December on a positive, powerful, efficient note. Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building. I see some people already was in the chat room. Peace. Awaken the Hebrews. Akuma. Just peace. What's the word? How y'all living? How y'all feeling? On this wonderful Thursday, man, we got some powerful information, man, to share today. So hopefully y'all got some time, and hopefully y'all got about an hour to chop it up and build with the kid, man. But we about to definitely build, talk about black being the standard of beauty. We letting the Europeans have their little standard of beauty, man. We not striving to be like the Europeans. We not striving to be like the white folk. We done with all of that nonsense. Ain't a peace between what's happening. But that European standard of beauty, man, it has definitely impacted us, especially our women. Destroyed our women for the most part, man. And I'm gonna give y'all some, even in my industry, I'm gonna show y'all how they utilize that white standard of beauty and how it's impacting us physically and mentally. I'm gonna drop a jewel on y'all. Some of y'all may already know what I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna share it with y'all anyway. Chris, peace, what's happening? What's the word? What's the word? It's a lot of things. It's some things that we do. I ain't gonna say a lot of things, but it's some things that we do that we don't even realize we striving to be like these white folks, man. And we straight argue up and down with a person when they point it out and say, I'm not striving to be like them, but it's so deeply rooted in our subconscious, man, that we do things, man, we straight do things to where we trying to emulate that the Europeans, and we don't even realize what we doing. And we straight argue that we not doing that. That's how good they got us. That's how good they got us. Andronicus, peace. What's the word? God is peace, queen. What's happening? What's the word? And you already know I'm gonna show and prove, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna come with some evidence, come with some information, and I'm gonna show y'all how some cultures back in the day was worshiping blackness. Even some of these cultures, it'll surprise you, because nowadays some of these same cultures don't view blackness in that same light. But I'm gonna show you how their ancestors viewed blackness. We gonna show and prove. We gonna bring the evidence. We gonna bring some articles. We gonna bring some articles to the surface, man, so y'all can see how some of these other cultures viewed us, how they worshiped us, and how white was viewed. So it's the total opposite. Like I said, you know, Pastor Troy got the song Vice Versa. Listen, that's the way of the world these days, man. That's literally the way of the world. That song is an actual fact. Vice versa, man. That's literally how we live it. My brother Antonio, peace. What's happening? Andronicus for sure, man. So all we can do is build. See, that's what we do. Builders build, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what my hoodie say. The hoodie that I usually rock. Builders build, man. That's what we do. We always building. You know what I'm saying? Building on the positives, destroying the negatives, man. That's the way to advance. That's the way to evolve out here. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got to do it. Waking the Hebrews, peace, what's happening? Thunder, Scorpion, peace, what's the word? My brother Chris, for sure. You already know. It's funny that you speak on the Aboriginal Native American. That's partly in the article too. It's partially in that article. Montel, peace, what's happening? Appreciate that donation too, by the way. But yeah, we definitely gonna chop it up, and I'm gonna give y'all the book. Y'all already know I always got a book that's related to something I'm talking about. This book right here, I done brought this book up before, but this is a positive book right here, man. Black Love is a Revolutionary Act. Brad is joint right here. Black Love is a Revolutionary Act, man. This book goes hard, man. It's a very good book. I read this book like probably 10 plus years ago, man. But this book is definitely a jewel. Definitely recommend all black people to read this book. Definitely recommend all black people to read this book. Black Love is a Revolutionary Act, man. That's the name of the book. That's the name of the game. Akuma for sure. You know what I'm saying? Very, very diverse. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times, man, when I see some of these sisters trying to emulate them, because it's crazy. It's crazy. Like a lot of these white chicks, they striving to emulate the black chicks. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get these tans, trying to darker skin and things along those lines, man. All these other groups, all these other cultures, they striving to be like us. They striving to emulate our culture. And yet we do things and we striving to be like them. Like, nah, man, the whole world literally wants to be like the original man and the original woman. But they got the original man and the original woman wanting to be grafted. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to be like everybody outside of them. So that's the way that they got us, man. It's crazy. And that's what creates a lot of these problems that we have, like, internally, as far as like black man versus black woman and all that type of stuff, man. Because then when you a black man and you coming with knowledge of self, you have a certain, like, I guess you can call it a standard, but you have a certain you have certain guidelines that you would want, like, your lady to abide by when you come in with that knowledge of self as a black man. And that those guidelines are in total opposition to the Western way. You know what I'm saying? So when you come with some of those guidelines as a black man with knowledge of self to a black woman that's indoctrinated in Western society, man, you're going to have a problem. And you don't even mean any harm. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all know what I'm talking about, man. The first time you might mention, and I'm talking about dealing with a black woman that's indoctrinated, not the sisters that's not indoctrinated. So again, if you don't fit, don't wear that joint. But when you're a black man with knowledge of self and you dealing with an indoctrinated sister, man, and you say something simple like, you know what I'm saying, I think it'd be better if you just rock your natural hair. Oh man, you might have to come to blows with them because they so indoctrinated. You might have to come to blows with them. If you tell, hey man, just rock your natural hair, man, I prefer that. I like that better, man. You might get accused of all type of stuff, and you might have to throw some hands with it. The indoctrination is real, and that's harmless when you really think about it. All you did was suggest that somebody rock their natural hair. There's like nothing harmful about that. But in society today, that's almost like that's an insult to the indoctrinated mind. That's an insult. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? What you mean? You prefer me to rock my natural? Why are you trying to control my you? You don't control me and all this type of stuff, man. It's gonna lead to that type of conversation. You got a problem. So again, when you a black man and you got knowledge of self, man, it's just certain things that you don't like to see the black woman do. It's certain things that you don't like to see the black woman indulge in because you got this knowledge of self. So you see, sometimes you might see more in that black woman than she see in herself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's a hard task to try to get her to see that in herself, or at least help her along the way. You know, so sometimes that can be rough, and I'm sure it's vice versa for the sister. You know what I'm saying? When you cover knowledge of self, it's just certain things that you just feel like, man, a black man just shouldn't even be involving himself with. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And for the most part, like I said, man, we got to deal with the actual facts of the world. When you coming with that knowledge of self, you in the minority. So your chances of meeting somebody that's on the same type of vibe as you, the chances are not that great. You know what I'm saying? It's not that great. The chances are better online these days because we got, you know, social media and things like that these days. So it's way better than it was back in the day before social media and all that, man. But the chances of you like going out physically and meeting somebody that's on the same type of vibe that you are on mentally in regards to having knowledge of self, knowledge of, you know, black history, culture, and all of that, chances are very low. More than likely, if you a person on that type of vibe with that type of knowledge, man, you're going to have to do some teaching in regards to the person that you want to be with, because more than likely, they're not going to be on that level when you meet them. Rashid, peace, what's happening? Self-love, man, that's the best love, you know? Oh, Chris, they came before Ivan Van Sertima. Shout out to Ivan Van Sertima. Definitely got that book somewhere in here. I also got a book by Van Sertima that's right in front of me called Blacks in Science. I recommend that book. But yeah, Ivan Van Sertima, that's my man's. Mr. Bobby, man, peace, what's happening? God is very disturbing. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. Oh, how do you get your skin like that? Now that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Like that's almost like when they start asking me how I got my hair the way that I got it, man. That stuff be funny, man. How did your hair just lock like that, man? Because that's how that's how it is naturally designed, yo. Antonio, man, he say be trying to enlighten sisters, and the religion got a stronghold on them. And that's an actual fact. That's an actual fact. That's why a lot of times, man, religion always finds its way into the conversation. Religion always finds its way into the conversation because, as my man said, it has a stronghold on a lot of sisters and a lot of brothers. But it definitely has a stronghold on a lot of the sisters out here, man. That religion is powerful. And again, I don't know if I'm the only I know I ain't the only black man that can speak on this, but a lot of times, man, sisters will dodge you and avoid you simply because you have a different perspective, a different religious perspective. Because y'all know, what is it? One of the most popular requirements in the dating world today for most women, most sisters, they want a what? A God-fearing man. So, like, if you come in and already letting them know that you ain't dealing with no religion, well, that has been eliminated. So they not about to deal with you. They need a God-fearing man. They need you to be a Christian. Like, this is some stuff that I've heard. Like, I've literally heard this from a lot. Like, a lot of a lot of sisters, unfortunately, have that requirement. Which is interesting because then you look at their track record and you look at the history of some of the dudes that they didn't talk to, and I'm like, whoa, wow, really? So your requirement is a God-fearing man, but you done been talking to all type of strange dudes that I don't feel like they fit that bill, but whatever the case may be, man, I don't know. But a lot of times that's the requirement, man. Got to be a God-fearing man and things like that. I used to let people know out the gate, I'm not a God-fearing man because I don't fear myself. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, that eliminates you from dealing with a lot of sisters, man. When they brainwashed by their religion and you coming from that angle, they think you a demon or something like that. When you start talking like that, they can't handle a black man that really knows the truth in that realm of reality. That scares a lot of them. They just like they say we intimidated by intelligent sisters, which I ain't intimidated by an intelligent sister. If anything, I embrace that. We love it. You know what I'm saying? We love the intelligence. But I'm pretty sure there are some dudes that are intimidated by it, but not me. I embrace that intelligence. But at the same way that they accuse us of being intimidated by intelligent black women, I would say that a lot of sisters out here are intimidated by confident and intelligent black men, like black men that know the truth and gonna stand on that truth. So the intimidation goes both ways. The intimidation goes both ways, man. When you are an intelligent black man and you coming with knowledge of self and you coming with information and facts and the evidence that goes against everything that they have been believing since they were a child, man, they are fearing you. They are fearing you because they know at the end of the day, deep down inside, they know what they dealing with is some nonsense. They know that they only believing in something because that's what their grandparents or their parents believe. Like they know deep down inside what's being said has some truth to it. And they feel like the longer they sit around you, then the more influence you're gonna have on them, and you're gonna get them to stray away from that lifestyle. Like that's what's gonna eventually happen. So they like, nah, man, I ain't gonna place myself around buddy, man. I ain't doing it. I have this fear of removing myself from this religion, from this way of life, because I've been attached to it since I was a youngin. Sweet Tea, what's happening? All right, I got a question. Shayna got a question for me. She say, "True, would you say it's a lack of knowledge, or they don't know any better and think it's the norm, especially for little girls perming their hair?" Shayna, good question. Matter of fact, good question on the screen here. It's a great question. I always, when that question is asked, I always go back to Malcolm X when he asked the question, "Who taught you how to hate yourself?" See, Malcolm X, when he asked that question, see, that's the answer right there. So you would say, would you say it's a lack of knowledge or they don't know any better? Somebody taught us to hate ourselves. So I would say it's indoctrination, it's programming. We have been programmed to hate ourselves, hence why Malcolm X had to ask that question. And if we know anything about the history of Malcolm X, man, we know what type of person Malcolm X was before he was Malcolm X, when he was Detroit Red, things along those lines. It was all programming. Y'all know the way that he was rocking his hair at that time before he was Malcolm X. Y'all know the type of drugs he was engaging with or indulging in. Y'all know the type of lifestyle he was living at that time, man. So again, when he asked that question, who taught you how to hate yourself, man, we have been taught to embrace the things that go against like our true reality. So it's programming. It's programming. We have been programmed. We have been indoctrinated since birth. And we have been indoctrinated and programmed for over 400 plus years. So the programming is real. So it's all programming. It's all programming. And again, sometimes, especially with the ladies, man, sometimes like a lot of ladies like striving for things. And sometimes like I'll ask questions. I'm like, man, do you even know why you want that in life? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that have become traditional and the norms in the Western world. And sometimes I ask a lot of like, why do you want that? Like, why do you feel like that's going to complete your life? Just certain things that universally a lot of women strive for and aim for. Man, I used to just break it down and just ask questions like, why are you like, why is that the aim? Like, why is that the goal? Why are you striving for that? Who taught you to strive for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who influenced you to strive for that? Things along those lines. But Shayna, I would say it's the programming. It's the programming. So it could be a combination of a lack of knowledge and we don't know any better due to the fact that we have been programmed. Antoinette, peace, queen, what's happening? CC, peace, what's the word? Chris, off for sure. Y'all, y'all already know the background. Y'all already know the background I'm coming from, man, as far as like the culture, the way of life. But definitely, I definitely rock with the philosophy and the science. I mean, and I'm a study the religions, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, honestly, I know how to interpret the religious text because things are not to be taken literal. You know what I'm saying? So I know and understand when I'm reading a religious text to not take it literal. You know what I'm saying? It's a parable. It's an allegory. It's a story with a deeper meaning, which is why you have the Gnostic versions, basically the underground versions of all of these religions. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking Islam, you got Sufism. You know what I'm saying? That's the underground version. That's the version that's telling you don't take everything literal. It's a deeper meaning. Then you got Gnostic Christianity. That's the underground version of actual Christianity. And they letting you know, hey, nah, we're not taking this book literal. Everything has a deeper meaning. It's like metaphors and it's metaphysical and things along those lines. That's when I tap into the religion. And I look at everything in that light. Like, nah, we're not taking this literal, but there's a meaning in this story. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a prime example of the story of Jesus being crucified. You know what I'm saying? I don't care anything about this person actually existing. The story, though, like I equate like a Malcolm X is a Jesus to me. Like that's all that story was conveying, letting you know that when you make it your duty to go out here and teach, what basically being a poor righteous teacher is what we call it. So we going out and we dealing with the masses, we dealing with the poor folks, and we teaching them freedom, justice, and equality. Well, when you make that your duty, guess what? It's going to be a certain group of people that have power that's not going to like that, and you will end up crucified, assassinated, silenced, and all of that. So that's all that his story is conveying to me, because what did Jesus do? He went amongst the people. He went amongst the poor people to teach his message. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't like that. So he ends up crucified. So that's that's a message. I don't care if that actually happened, but that's that story. It means something. So when you make it your duty to go out here and teach the people the truth, this is what happened to you. You know what I'm saying? So when you looking at things in that light, then now we rocking and now we roll. So now we rocking and rolling. But I'm let me see, Chris, appreciate that donation. You say we are the original man, God embodied in flesh. Our power is often negated by Anglo programming. 100% right and exact. Oh, Snuggles. This is what, excuse me, y'all. Y'all already know, man, the throat all messed up, man. Still recovering out here. But you say, you hope you don't take this the wrong way. Why does everything have to go back to Europeans when they have taken their foot off people's neck? What about people's ability to use their brain? See, Snuggles, this is the thing. This is why it always got to go back to it. Because it's a reason why they have taken their foot off people's neck, because they don't need to do it anymore because of the programming. So now everything is psychological. Even this platform that we are on right now, if they really got wind to what I'm talking about, guess what? The channel was down. When I made a few videos about the jab and all I was trying to do was educate people on the other side, what happened to those videos? They got removed, they got deleted, they got banned. Who did they get removed by? So they always have some involvement. It's just not as vicious and overt as it was back in the day. Now it's more covert. So they always have an involvement. But here we just talking about the programming. It's a lot of things that we subscribe to, and we move in a lot of ways that emulate the oppressor. It's called like the Stockholm syndrome too. And so we move in this way, and then we jump to the defense of other groups of people before we jump to the defense of our people. And that's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had conversations with black folks, and I start talking about white folks, and they jump defensive and they start defending the white folks. But then that same person, I have a conversation with them, and we talking bad about black people, and it's okay. Nah, man, we can't be doing that. But that's Stockholm syndrome, and we do that. We gonna talk bad about each other, and that's cool. The moment you start saying stuff about white folks, Asian folks, Arabs, all that type of stuff, now it's got to be a problem. Now they want to jump up and defend them. So it's like we got to stop living like that. But a lot of our problems are deeply rooted, and it goes back to slavery. That's the reason why I always got to bring up the European, because a lot of our problems that we have to this day deeply rooted from slavery. And that is just an actual fact. And I'm going to give you one clear-cut example that's related to my industry in regards to the standard of beauty. I'm a personal trainer. One metric that they try to utilize to determine one's health is what? The BMI. I can't stand the BMI. The BMI is literally the European standard of beauty in the flesh. If you a black woman, if you a sister, and you know how y'all carry y'all weight differently, y'all carry y'all mass differently than white women. You know what I'm saying? But if you a sister, and let's just say you 5'3", 140 pounds or something. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's all in the right areas. Man, according to the BMI chart, they gonna tell you that you're obese. They gonna tell you that you're overweight. Now, I just said 5'4" about 140. I didn't say 5'4", 240. I said about 140. They gonna tell you that you might need to be 115, 110 pounds. Who does that look like? You know how many sisters I train to where they not built bad, but according to the BMI, it's like, nah, you need to lose 30 more pounds to be considered healthy in regards to your weight. Like, nah, that BMI does not have it does not and did not have black folks in mind, especially the sisters. They want the sisters to be out here starving themselves, looking like these white chicks. Literally, if all my sisters went by the BMI, then y'all would be out here, all my sisters would be out here looking anorexic. I can't stand the BMI. Like, I tell the blacks, I said, do not look at the BMI. Do not gauge your progress by the BMI. I don't even talk to them about BMI, because the BMI is trash, especially when it's considering the sisters. Please don't try to measure your progress by utilizing the BMI. But that's the European involvement in it. And that's something that we overlook. But if you go to the doctor and the doctor is using that BMI, they gonna tell you, like, man, you might need to lose 30 more pounds to be considered healthy. And you 5'4", 140. Like, they want you to be 110, 115. Like, that don't even look right. You know what I'm saying? That don't even look right. So the BMI, man, the BMI, I can't stand it. I can't stand the BMI. Can't stand it at all. Street Genius, please appreciate that donation. I can't stand it at all. Can't stand it at all. And Snuggles, also to the point too, it's a lot of ways that we view ourselves that's still connected to the Europeans' involvement, still connected to slavery, and it's the total opposite of how we should be viewing ourselves. And I'm about to share this screen in a minute to show y'all some articles. I'm about to share this screen, man. I'm about to show y'all an article real quick. I'm about to show y'all an article right quick, man, because again, y'all know I like to come with the evidence, man. So let me give y'all this article. Let me show y'all this article, and y'all can read along with this article before I forget here. But this is the article, and y'all can, you know what I'm saying, see the link to the article. I might put the link in the description so y'all can tap into the article on your own time. But let me go ahead and share this screen, man. I'm gonna show y'all how we were viewed back in the day by other cultures, how they viewed us. You know what I'm saying? To show and prove that the black standard of beauty, that was the way. Let me show and prove, though. And again, y'all about to see what I'm gonna read to y'all. It's the total opposite of how we viewing everything these days. So when people hear what we say about black and when people hear what we say about white, that they looking confused, because again, the truth is stranger than what? Fiction. So let me go ahead and share this screen though, man. Let me go ahead and share this screen. Let me get some things cracking, man. Let's look at this article, man. We're gonna bring the evidence. Gonna bring some of the evidence out here. Let me see. All right, hold up. Boom. All right, we in that thing, man. So let me share this screen. Bring up this article so y'all can see the title of the article. Universal preference of whiteness over blackness, question mark, boom. Y'all see it. Now, let me read something to y'all. Let me read a few things here. Let me go. Let me see. Let me find something here. All right, we're gonna go right here to the pre-modern Asian. So the pre-modern Asian, all right, the pre-modern Asian ideas on race. Apparently, the white is right attitude so prevalent today was not always the norm. Standards of beauty in South and Southeast Asia. Marco Polo reports, and y'all know who Marco Polo is from history. Marco Polo reports on the Dravidians of South India. Dravidians was blacker than me, just in case y'all don't know. But Marco Polo reports on the Dravidians of South India. It is a fact that in this country, when a child is born, they anoint him once a week with oil of sesame. And sesame oil is very beneficial. And this makes him grow much darker than when he was born. For I assure you that the darkest man is here the most highly esteemed and considered better than those who are not so dark. Let me read that again. For I assure you that the darkest man is here. The darkest man is here the most highly esteemed and considered better than those who are not so dark. This ain't something I'm saying. It's Marco Polo. Like, this is Marco Polo writing this. Let me add that in very truth, these people portray and depict their gods and idols black and their devils white as snow. Let me repeat that. Let me add that in very truth. So he telling truth there, Marco Polo. These people portray and depict their gods and idols black and their devils white as snow. Again, this ain't something that I'm saying. This ain't something that was said 100 years ago. For they say that God and all the saints are black and the devils are all white. This was in South and Southeast Asia. This is what the common belief was there. So come on now. This ain't, again, nothing new under the sun. People been talking like this. People been letting you know that God is associated with blackness and the devil is associated with whiteness. This is nothing new as under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. Look at this. Old Chinese views on Caucasians. Look at that. By traditional Chinese opera conventions, a black face is considered nobler. Look at that. Actors wear masks that denote the character's qualities. A predominantly black face indicates courage, righteousness, and incorruptibility. A predominantly white face indicates craftiness, deceit, knavery. Come on now. This is the old Chinese view. So this ain't us. Come on now. Ming Dynasty China records even state that Caucasians, in particular blondes, are physically unattractive. Let me read that again. Ming Dynasty China. Now, this ain't even Africa. We ain't even talking about Africans right now. But like, we ain't even talking about Africa. We talking about Ming Dynasty China. Records even state that Caucasians, in particular blondes, are physically unattractive. Look at that. Now, these are obviously words in their language that we ain't even about to try to pronounce, but we can use context clues to see what they're talking about. Say they are shaggy with big noses, and they have light hair and blue eyes. Their appearance is vile and peculiar. So there are those, the Chinese, who do not wish to marry them. But they got y'all despising y'all black skin. Come on now. This is the history that they fail to teach in schools. And again, I'm going to go ahead. This distaste for blondes is a stark contrast to the worship of European standards of beauty so prevalent among modern Asians. Today, Chinese boast about their Caucasian sons-in-laws or husbands instead of attributing the worship of whites or the vilification of whites for that matter to natural perceptions of racial hierarchy. It should be remembered that standards of beauty shift through time. So again, this was the old Chinese view on Caucasians. Now we're going to talk about the Native Americans, what some people call the Indians and things along those lines. But we know who was really here. But we already know the truth in that regards, man. But when we say Native Americans, we speaking in layman terms, so y'all know who we talking about. All right, so here, look what the Native Americans had to say about black folk, even though they was original in and of themselves. But those who had been brave and fearless, the victorious ones in battle, painted themselves in charcoal. So the black man they thought had been the bravest of the party. So again, when they start making your ancestors look like everybody was just being submissive when it comes to slavery, and dudes wasn't out here going to war, dudes went out here fighting for their honor, going out swinging, that's a lie. What they say, they said so the black man they thought had been the bravest of the party. Stop playing with us, man. Stop playing with us. I'm gonna go back. Let me remove that, man. Let me go back here. All right, we back in this thing. So y'all just seen that article, man. That's light work. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot more that we can show and prove in regards to that. We got a lot more that we can show and prove in regards to that. But man, I read to y'all the old Chinese view. Like I said, I ain't even go to Africa. Like I ain't even go back to the actual motherland. These the old Chinese folk, Ming Dynasty. They wasn't fooling with the blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, come on now. They wasn't fooling with the blonde hair, blue eyes. Man, they ain't even want to marry them folk. They like, nah, man, we ain't rocking with that. We ain't rock. Why we want that? Their appearance is vile and peculiar. Like, that's what the Ming Dynasty folk was saying. This out here in Asia, you know what I'm saying? South and Southeast Asia. They was like, nah, man, we fool with the black folk. Black is associated with God. This is that. This is that. So come on, man. This is why we telling y'all, man, black has always been the standard of beauty. The original woman, the original man has always been the standard of beauty, especially the original woman. Like, especially the black woman. The black woman has always been the standard of beauty. And they stripped that from us. They stripped that from all women, man. Got our women out here so lost. I mean, our sisters are so confused to the point where, like somebody mentioned, I think it was Akuma, our sisters so messed up to the point, man, they out here going to get surgery for something that they naturally have, already. All they got to do is put in a little work to enhance it. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They got our sisters so messed up in the head that they out here getting butt surgeries, and all they got to do is start working out, and they butt gonna end up looking like how it's looking when you get the surgery. It's just gonna be natural. So that's how bad they got us. That's how bad they got our sisters. They got you spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to get a surgery where all you got to do is start taking your health seriously, and you gonna naturally transform to that body type. Like, that's literally how they got us, man. That is horrible. That is horrible. Like, that is so confusing. And nothing is more confusing to me these days than to see a sister talking about, like, what are you getting surgery for? Like, man, the weight loss surgery ain't even the problem. Man, they literally going, this butt surgery, like this fat transfer surgery and all that, that's the surgery these days. That's what people get. That's what these women are getting, and they spending big bucks to get this surgery when all you got to do is take your health seriously. Literally. Oh yeah, Shane, skin bleaching, most definitely. Man, listen, I be wanting to be darker than I'm already am. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I be wanting to be jet black in this joint. But yeah, that lovely peace, what's happening? But yeah, the skin bleaching is definitely crazy. People like Sammy Sosa, and then like the Michael Jackson situation is random. You got people say he had that condition and all that type of stuff, man. But you do got enough people with the skin. Man, I even got some situations that's close, you know what I'm saying, that close to me, where it's like I would see members in the family, man, using this makeup to the point where it's like, man, you straight look like a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like your black brown face is now looking white. I can't stand that, man, when they overdo the makeup to the point where it's like you straight got a white mask on, like a Casper mask on. That's like unnecessary. Like, I don't understand that. I mean, I understand it, but it's like that grinds my gears to when I see that, it's like I get annoyed. Like, why? Like, why are you doing that to yourself? But I know a lot of personal situations where, you know what I'm saying, sisters to be out here, man, they like they got a whole white mask on. Like nothing looks good about that. Like it's just nothing. Nothing looks good about that. Yeah, Jay, for sure. You know what I'm saying? That his condition was real. You had people that had their other thoughts in regards to that situation. But yeah, like Sammy Sosa and whatnot, like people like Lil Kim and all that, man, just didn't even need to do what they did to themselves, and they did it. Like just destroyed themselves, man. And it just look horrible now. Like you ain't had to do that to yourself, man. What you on? And I forgot, man. I don't even want to misquote it, man. I was talking to somebody from, man. I don't want to say it was like Jamaica, so I forgot. I don't even want to misquote it, man. But it was somewhere that somebody was talking about, man, how they like the skin, like bleaching the skin was real big there. And people don't be wanting to be dark. I forgot what part of the world this was in, man. Somebody that I was working with at the time was letting me know how real it is wherever they was from. Wherever they was from, and they was like, it's real in the field. They was like, man, them sisters down there, they be buying that, they be buying that skin bleaching cream, man. They be trying to get lighter. I forgot where that was at, though. I forgot where that person was from. But they confirmed it, man. Wherever it was at, man. It was some island or something, man. I don't want to misquote it, though, so I ain't about to say the wrong island. But I feel like it was like Jamaica or something, man. I forgot, though. Oh, Thunder, man. I can imagine, man. That makeup, boy, that makeup be kind of grinding. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That makeup be making me mad sometimes, especially when it's just like blatantly obvious. See, that's what I'm saying, man. We risking our lives for the surgery. Anais, peace, queen. What's happening? Oh, Snuggles, man. We can answer that. You say my confusion with your statement, the fact that the original is the smartest and has proven to be intelligent. What has happened with the intelligence? Why can't it be reclaimed? Oh, it's being reclaimed. It's being reclaimed, but again, we got to understand the opposition that we dealing with. These other cultures let you know that these white folks are what? Deceit. Listen, it's a reason why. It's a reason why these other cultures associated white with the devil. And again, people hear the word devil and they get all spooky. Man, when you look up the word devil, man, it's literally going to boil down to deceiver. So you dealing with the world's greatest deceiver. So when they start talking about a war between the God and the devil, man, you literally talking about a war between black and white. Like that's literally what you're talking about, man. So again, it's a lot of us that's reclaiming the intelligence. It's a lot of us, man. But when you'd have been deceived for 400 plus years, man, and you'd have been colonized for 400 plus years, it ain't just gonna happen overnight. It just ain't gonna happen overnight. So we got to understand that it's a process, man. But it's a lot of us that wake up. But when you dealing with somebody that's just so wicked, like when people start waking up, they start assassinating people. Like look at, you know what I'm saying, the Black Wall Streets, the Rosewoods. Like it's a lot of little communities moved back in like the 80s. So when we start reclaiming that intelligence, they don't like to see it. And then we dealing with people that are aggressive. We dealing with people that are murderers. Like we dealing with people that don't have, listen, we dealing with people that don't care to assassinate folks, murder folks. So when they see that happening, they like, all right, it's time to kill them. So that's the type of people that we dealing with. See, we not that type of people by nature. We just want to reclaim our intelligence in peace. They won't allow that to happen. So when we try to reclaim our intelligence and we trying to teach that to the babies, teach that to the children, then it's like they got to intervene, and they going to intervene in an aggressive manner. So that makes it a little more complicated to reclaim the intelligence, because every time we get to that point, here they go. Just like when we had our own communities and were thriving, what did they do? They bombed them. They assassinating folk. They killing all the men, leaving the women with just the children. They doing that. So again, they won't allow us to get back to our spot in peace. They won't allow it to happen. Anytime they see that that's becoming close to happening, they start killing folk. Anytime they see a brother or a sister that's powerful enough to reach a large amount of black folks, they killing them. So then we right back to square one. So it's a little more complicated, man, because these people, they not allowing us to do it. Because again, we not about to do it. We not about to reclaim our position and go kill a bunch of them. We're not doing that because we're not designed like that. We just trying to live our lives in peace. We just trying to learn. We need to learn in peace and then teach it to our children. They won't want that to happen though. So anytime they see us doing that, then now we got to get assassinated for no other reason than we just trying to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, let's be real. We give black folks knowledge of self, right? With the knowledge of self, we not about to go out here killing white folk for no reason. We're not about to go out here enslaving white folks for no reason. Like, we not finna do that. Even when we get this knowledge, we not gonna do it. We're gonna take this knowledge and we're gonna apply this knowledge to our village. We're gonna apply this knowledge to our people, and we're gonna apply that knowledge to ourselves to become better. We're not gonna take this knowledge and say, oh, you know what? Let's go enslave all white folks. Like, we not gonna do that. Like, we ain't designed like that, man. I can bring up article after article, book after book that's telling you how wicked these white folks are. Black people still ain't gonna come together collectively and say, oh man, we need to get rid of white folks. Like, it's never gonna happen. Like, we're never gonna, I don't care how obvious this stuff is, it's never gonna reach that point. But them, on the other hand, nah, they ain't got no problem wiping us out. No problem. We not gonna ever approach it like that though. And matter of fact, that has been stated as one of the reasons why we were enslaved. They actually viewed us, because a lot of times, y'all done heard me talk about, we are too forgiving or we too accepting as a people. So we accept any and everybody. Do you know, back in the day, they utilized that reasoning to justify us being enslaved. They called it childlike behavior. They said black folks are too embracing and too accepting as a people. That's childlike behavior. And that was a justification utilized for us being enslaved. So again, when I say we too accepting and embracing as a people to a fault, that's what I mean. And they literally utilize that reason as justification, because guess what? They not like that. See, they couldn't even fathom a people just being accepting and embracing by nature. That's us. They was like, man, this is unnatural. Like, these people accepting any and everybody, and they teaching them civilization. What's wrong with them? Because that's not how they are. That's how we are, though. So they called it childlike, but that's just natural to us. That's natural. That's our natural way of life. Southern hospitality. That's our natural way of life, to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But they like, nah, this don't even make any sense. Why are they bringing us in and they teaching us how to take baths and teaching us how to grow crops? Like, what? What's wrong with these people? So yeah, man, that's what we dealing with there. Oh, you say Lagos, Nigeria. Man, I know a lot of people. It's a lot of people from here. It's not from here, but it's a lot of people here where I'm at, St. Louis, that from Nigeria. Matter of fact, that's the one time I told that story. When I was working in the bank, and the dude told me to come to Africa. They would treat me like a king. That brother was from Nigeria. Yeah, that brother. But yeah, I heard stuff is crazy there too. In Africa, in regards to the bleaching of the skin. Definitely, I've heard that. And crazy, but a lot of people don't even be realizing that, man, Africa is just about more colonized than we are here. So a lot of times you will come across an African and you would think that they about to come hit you with some straight culture. Like, most of the time, they probably finna hit you with the same Eurocentric nonsense that the brothers over here hitting you with. They about to hit you with the same Christianity, the same nonsense, the same garbage that they finna hit you with over here, because they've been colonized as well. So it's just sick. Oh yeah, just for sure, man. Like, listen, you want to make some money, you sell the skin bleaching product. Gonna make all type of bread, because people don't want to be black. People don't want to be black, and they don't want you to be black. Yeah, Chris, for sure, man. I'm trying to be black as I can get. Thunder, for sure. You say we hate ourselves too. We only trust each other when it comes to spirituality and handling our dead bodies. But food, doctors, dentist, history, yeah, no go at all. You know what I'm saying? I would say we getting better with some of that stuff. I say, like, with things like the doctors and the dentists, a lot of times we getting better with some of it. At least people be like, do you know a black dentist? Do you know a black therapist? Now, whether or not they find one, who knows? But a lot of times I see people at least inquire about, like, black doctors and black dentists and things like that. But again, man, we don't need, like, we got to get more into those fields too. But as far as like man, listen, don't even get me started on the doctors though, man. Them white doctors be having us all type of brainwashed. And the thing of it is, people don't be understanding like the genetic makeup, man. We got to live a little differently than white folk. We have different requirements than the white folks. Like we can't be eating the same way as the white folk. Like this has been scientifically proven. And an honest doctor should tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like we got our vitamin D levels, like we need a little bit more than the white folks. So we can't be eating like them. So they can't be giving us the same advice, but they do it though. And then some of the times we be wondering why we suffering from a lot of ailments because we following their traditions in regards to the food requirements, man, and the vitamin and mineral requirements and things like that. Like, nah, man, we gotta be moving a little differently. We gotta be eating a little differently. But Anais, yeah, he don't exist at all, fam, at all. Lachelle, peace, what's happening? God is, man, I'm telling y'all, man, people don't like the complete separation is definitely what I would strive for. Now, again, when people say complete separation, uh, people be thinking that individuals are saying the world gonna be a better place if we in control. Not even saying that. You know what I'm saying? But there was never a point of time in history where we coexisted with them peacefully. At least we can have periods of time, man, where they were not in the picture and we were thriving as a people. So at least we can have points of time in history where that's the case. But we have never had a point of time in history where we were thriving and coexisting peacefully while living in close proximity to them. There's never been a time in history. Nobody has yet to bring me any evidence to show me a time in history where that was the case. I'm still waiting on it. Snuggles, what you say? You say shouldn't the rest of people be attacked in defense mode like you because they see the danger ahead? And if someone sees danger and does nothing, would you not consider them slow logically? Nah, Snuggles, man, I don't necessarily. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't necessarily consider them slow. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta understand when it comes to the mothers and fathers of civilization, we done dealt with all types of people. And we didn't civilize all types of people. Again, we are a very diverse people. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't dealt with a lot of people. So like if you normally dealing with a lot of people, man, and you done taught a bunch of people, you done civilized a lot of people, man. Like I said, we didn't taught all type of people. The shade spectrum, it goes as Elijah Muhammad taught it, black, brown, red, yellow, then you get to white. So we didn't taught all these other groups. You know what I'm saying? We didn't civilized all these other groups. Starting with the black, and you got the brown, red, yellow. So we didn't civilize all these other groups. We may have had a problem here and there, like every now and then with a particular group, but it was handled. So when it comes to dealing with humanity, we not in our mind thinking like, man, this group about to take everything that we have taught them, use it against us, and then come back with weapons of mass destruction and just destroy us all and then enslave us. Like, nah. So I'm not gonna necessarily consider it slow. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you can reverse that. And we was looking at them as children because the way that they were living. And when you see a child that can't fend for himself, what you gonna do? You gonna teach the child. You know what I'm saying? So we looking at we looking at them like they primitive. They haven't been here before because of the way that they acting. And so we looking at them like that's our children. We gonna teach them. So nah, Snuggles, you got to look at that in the opposite light. We looking at them like they children. They haven't been here long enough to know how to live. And we knowing that actual fact. So we gonna civilize them because they haven't been here long enough to know how to live. So that's how our ancestors was viewing it. Like we ain't in defense mode because we know that they haven't been here long enough. We done been on this planet a long time before we saw somebody that resembled their pigmentation. So we know that this race is fairly new. So they childlike. So we got to teach the children. So that's how they viewing them. They like, man, this is a child race. Like they haven't been here long enough. We got to teach them civilization. And then they mind, they like, if we teach them civilization, then there we go. We taught them. So they not going to turn against us. So that's the mistake in the thinking. But it's not necessarily slow. It's just like we looking at them like they ain't been here long enough to know. We going to teach them what's right and exact. Brandon, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Landon, what's happening? Peace. He said you going back there to live in a few years, man. I'll tell you, man. Listen. Dude told me that they treat me right in exact Nigeria. I'm like, man, tell me that again. I might have to, because man, hey, the wilderness of North America start to get on your nerves. Oh yeah, I'm late in the comments. I'm seeing everybody talking about the Christianity in Africa for sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh, it's deep there. I'm already hip. I'm already knowing. And again, listen, when we say that Christianity is heavy in Africa, notice the Christianity that we talking about. The same Christianity that they didn't gave us here. Like that, it ain't no African Christianity. Like, nah, it's the same Christianity that the white folks around here subscribing to. Like it be the same version of the Christianity. It ain't no different joint. So let's clarify that. Jay Green to God, peace. What's happening? Oh, Thunder. See, and that's the there we go. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it ain't gonna be perfect if we separate, but I feel like I'd rather take my chances in dealing with that amongst my own people aside from dealing with it from them, man. So I feel I'd rather take my chances dealing with my own. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna be perfect though. But at some point, I feel like that's the move we're gonna have to make. Now it ain't gonna be pretty. It's gonna take a lot of time before it get back to making some type of sense. So it's gonna be rough. You know what I'm saying? If we separated today, it'll be rough. If we separated right now today, like it'll be rough. But I'd rather that rough period in dealing with my own. You know what I'm saying? Just like the few communities that we had that was thriving, like the Black Wall Street was thriving, yo. Like they had everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they had everything. They did not need them white folks for any. Like they had everything in them in that town. Like if we can get to moving more like that, that's a good start, man. And where we have it, I mean, we got a movie theaters, clean, like everything that you needed. They had it in that community. A bank, anything, everything you needed, they had it in that community. That's how we first need to start off. Everything else, as far as on the political end, we will figure that out. Because again, we an intelligent people, we gonna figure it out. Now, of course, like I said, it ain't gonna be perfect, it ain't gonna be pretty sometimes. But I'd rather deal with my own people. Much rather. Oh, Snuggles, see, don't get it misconstrued now. Now we didn't had our fair share of war against these white folks. Now we didn't definitely we had to start, you know what I'm saying, forming armies and things. Like again, even when we was amongst ourselves, like you had tribal wars and things along those lines. So we weren't always just in agreement with one another. Like the same thing that's happening today amongst black people is happening then. But we talking about a people that you talking about a person that is in their very nature to be violent. It's hard to compete with that, Snuggles, man. When you talking about a people that it is in their like they thrive off of violence, and that's just not in your nature to do. It's like, man, it's hard to compete with that. It's literally hard to compete with a person that it is in their nature to be violent. It's hard to compete with that in regards to matching that violence. Like it's just hard to compete with that. They about to construct all type of weapons that will destroy humanity, and like because that's their intention. Like they waking up, like, man, what can we do to take over the world? By force. Like that's how they viewing life. Like that's literally how they viewing it. We ain't doing that. Because it's not our line of thinking. Like we not on that type of vibe. Like we not like, man, how can I take over the world today physically? Because we not that insecure about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We know we the mothers and fathers of civilization. We don't got nothing to prove. White folks got something to prove, so they feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they took the measures that they took. But we didn't definitely went to war now. We got plenty of examples of that. Like when we get the Tucson L Overture and things like that. Yeah, we get Bookman and all that. We didn't have our fair share of battles with the white folks. Now we didn't got in defense mode. Now we didn't did that. What you got, Hannibal was that, man? We got a lot of cases of us fighting these Europeans and winning. So yeah, we definitely had our wars, man. So when we first brought them in. We was teaching them civilization, and when we realized they was on some other stuff, yeah, we definitely had our wars and whatnot. But again, like I said, you're dealing with people that's violent by nature, so they just gonna keep coming. They just gonna keep coming. Jeremiah, peace. What's happening? Oh yeah, Chris. Yeah, East St. Louis for sure. And then you got the Cahokia Mounds and all that type of stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Burned it down, man. Burned it down. Yeah, Sharif, man. There we go. Queen and Zinga. You know what I'm saying? Like I rapped there. I mentioned her in the song. You know what I'm saying? Zinga, Hannibal, all of that. What is that, man? Intelligent Hoodlum, aka Tragedy Gaddafi, got a song. He got a song, and he said something along the lines of Hannibal conquered Europe on elephants. You know what I'm saying? Like he put that Black history in the song. So Snuggles, yeah, nah, we got a defensive mode now. We gonna defend ourselves. We gonna do that. Yeah, we gonna do that. Oh, Kuma, man, hey. Hey, man, forget it. It is what it is, man. I just feel like separation is the best. And I ain't saying that from a racist standpoint. I ain't saying it from like a race. Like people hear separation, even when the Nation of Islam was talking about it. Like it ain't really a racist stance. Like, man, y'all do y'all thing on that side of town. We do our thing on this side of town. Just please just leave us alone, though. Like I feel like that's the way to. I feel like that's the way to live, man. I feel like that'll solve a lot of problems. But again, you got to get this other group to just allow us to live in peace. You know what I'm saying? You got this. Of course, we're gonna have our little situations amongst one another. So don't ever get it twisted and act like I'm saying, man, we just separate, then that's gonna eliminate all the crime. And nah, man, we gonna always, you know what I'm saying? That stuff is gonna always exist. It always had existed, man. So that ain't gonna go anywhere. But man, I feel like life would be a lot better, man. Life would be a lot better. We ain't got to be relying on them for these jobs. Like our children ain't got to rely on them to earn a living. They can go right back in the Black community and earn a decent living and take care of their family, things like that. Like, come on now. Oh yeah, my boy Antonio for sure. Yeah, man. We gonna see, man. Y'all gonna make me pull out. We finna go to history class in this joint, man. Y'all gonna have me pulling out more references in this thing. Y'all gonna have me pulling out references in this thing, man. But yeah, man, like a lot of people got there, like we should go back to Africa. I mean, I don't care where we go collectively. You know what I'm saying? I don't care where we go, man. But I just feel like I feel like that'll be like that's something that I always talk about, man. Just separation. I don't care where we go and separate. Whether we do it right here in America, I mean, like I said, man, everywhere we step foot, that's our home, man. So we could literally be anywhere and make it our home. They just got to leave us alone, man, and that'd be the problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I really at this point, I don't care where we go, man. We can go, we can go to. Well, I do care where we go. We ain't going nowhere like Antarctica. No, we ain't going nowhere where it's cold. Like, nah, that ain't. We ain't rocking with that. Like overly cold. So nah. Yeah, Thunder Man, and I feel like that's the number one thing we lack. I feel like that's the number one. I feel like that'll solve pretty much a military, a Black military that's deep. Like I feel like that's one of them. I feel like that's one of them joints. Like we really lack that, and if we had that, it'd be a wrap. It'd be a wrap. Jay Green, man, I'm 100% in agreement with that, man. They just be like for real, man. I don't like my world wouldn't stop if you know what I'm saying we separated from them. Now I know some brothers and sisters, man, y'all like to play in the snow. You know what I'm saying? But nah, my world wouldn't stop, man. I'd be perfectly fine. I'd be perfectly fine. UFO kamikaze for sure. You know what I'm saying? What they say? Man, I forgot the Ice Cube line, man, but I forget it. Man, what do you say? I don't even want to misquote it, but he say we got enough problems here in America when people was talking about going to Africa. I'm just saying, man, we got to universally agree to go somewhere. I don't care. We universally agree to go to Africa. Guess what? I'm going. I don't care. Like we universally could agree to something. I don't care where we go. Just hey, if we universally agree to go anywhere, I'm going. Like if black folk came together collectively, now again, we know that this ain't gonna happen, but if it just so happened and the agreement was to go to Africa, look, I don't care, I'm going. Like if that we feel like we finna link up and we finna change the world and we got to go there, I'm going there. I'm on that ship. I'm on that plane, whatever we gonna use to get over there. I'm going where my people going, if we gonna agree collectively that we got a common enemy. You know what I'm saying? So hey. So I ain't even, you know what I'm saying, wherever we agree to go. If we agree to stay here and go ahead and do what we need to do, I'm cool. And man, we gotta, y'all, if y'all want to go to China and take over China, like, I'm cool. I'm cool, man. Just let me know. Just let me know where y'all want to go and take over the world, where y'all want to do it from. I'm on the plane. I'm with y'all, man. I don't care. At this point, I wouldn't even care. I would not care. Oh, head he rude. Nah, for sure. Now, let me clear that up. Because we fool with the statement head he rude. But again, I always gotta clear this up when that statement is made. Because we definitely not giving white folks no power. That's definitely not what we doing. We acknowledging the reality and the role. Because again, we also can't be blind to their involvement. Because again, just like I said, let's just say enough of us, we came together and we realized the reality. And we said, all right, man, we powerful. And we came together and we bought up a city, bought up a town, bought up a block, bought up something. And we lived in there because, man, we just powerful people. And we just like, we ain't gonna get these white. And then these white folks come out of nowhere and they bomb it. Like, we got to deal with these white, like, because we gonna have to deal with them. So when we collectively realize our power and then we go manifest that power, they gonna be right behind us trying to destroy it. They're gonna be right behind us trying to destroy it. Hence what they doing on social media. We gotta acknowledge it. Just like the jab. It's hard for people, like I said, it was hard for people to get the truth. It's still hard for people to get the truth about the actual jab, because what are they doing? Neutralizing the information. Not even neutralizing it. They making it one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? You can't even have a video that opposes the jab. It's hard for you to do proper research on it. Because they banning videos, they banning websites, they shutting things down. See, that's that power that we must acknowledge. These are things that they are doing that's affecting and impacting a lot of black folks. Then even when we talk about our own communities, we don't even like when we talk about our own communities in the physical. First of all, we don't even own this land. We don't even own this land. Like, our houses are sitting in some neighborhoods and we don't even own it. They do, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then when we start talking about a lot of the problems that we have, let's say, for instance, the killing, what we would consider black on black. Let's talk about the guns. It ain't even just us supplying the guns to us. They supplying the guns to us. So again, they have involvement, but you just don't see their hand. You just don't see that. You don't see it, but they dropping the guns off. They dropping, man. I know people that's off in the trenches, that's off in the field, that live these type of lifestyles, that let me know for actual fact that they are getting these guns from white folk. Like, they are getting these guns from white folk. Like 100%. Like, this is something that's how they getting the drugs from white folk. Like, they not getting this stuff from the people that look like us, but we think that that's what's happening. So in order for us to even clean up the house, we got to deal with them. We got to tell them, hey, man, stop bringing these guns to the community. Like, that's literally what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? We got to, hey, man, chill, bring these drugs to my folk. Stop doing that. So we got to get to the drug dealers that's at the top. We got to get to the gang leaders that's at the top. And then we got to go deal with the white folks that's supplying them with the weapons and the drugs. Well, CIA cracking America, man, we already know the CIA involvement in all of this. So it ain't that we giving them power. We acknowledging the role that they are playing, because they're going to play a role. There is no way in the world that they're going to let us clean up our own house and then live lavishly. They're not going to let us do it. History to show and prove that, because we didn't have that. We didn't have neighborhoods where black people didn't realize their power and tried to live peacefully. And what happened? We dead. We dead because we didn't take into consideration that these white folks going to be this vicious. So we didn't have no military. Now, move. If y'all familiar with the move, now we defended ourselves, but we didn't have enough because we didn't take that into consideration. So if 10 of us come together and think we about to create a thriving community, we got to take into consideration that, man, these white folks finna be coming with these guns, and 10 of us ain't enough to deal with 1 million of them or a couple thousand, few thousand of them. We got to consider that. We got to consider that because they gonna come. They are coming. You know what I'm saying? So we always, and then even the educational system. How many black children are in public schools and private schools that are headed by white folks? So we got to ask that question. How many black children are in schools that's headed by white folks, where the white folks control the curriculum? This is a large percentage. So as long as that's still a fact, then we still got work to do, and we still got to acknowledge their role in it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it that we need to, we are the most powerful people on the planet. We just need to realize that power. We're basically dealing with our strengths and playing on our strengths and things along those lines. But we always got to acknowledge the role of the enemy. We always got, because we always gonna have an enemy. It's like when you reading a fictional novel, there's gonna always be a villain. So you're gonna have the person in the book that everybody loves, man. Everybody want to see that person reach a goal, but you're gonna have that villain in the book, in the novel, that's trying to prevent that person from reaching the goal. That's the villain. So we got to understand that our story, we have a villain. We have a villain that is outside of us. That is what we got to collectively realize, and we got to deal with the villain. So just like we got to deal with ourselves, we got to also deal with this villain, because that villain ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like if you had a deadly, man, if you had like a deadly animal or something in your crib, man, you got to kill that animal, man, or it's going to kill you. It's kill or be killed. You know what I'm saying? What you finna do, you finna let it kill you, like, man, I'm gonna just mind my business and hopefully it go away. Nah, you better kill that joint before it kill you. Man, you got a venomous snake in the crib. What, you about to just let that venomous snake chill in the crib? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? If I don't bother this snake, it won't bother me. Nah, that snake finna do what it's in its nature to do. You best to get rid of that snake. You better get that snake out your crib. Whether you kill that snake or whether you find a way to just get it outside of your crib. You know what I'm saying? So that's we always got to do that, man. We always got to look at it through that lens. And I feel like at times it's where we make mistakes and people think we giving power. I didn't give not an ounce of power to any white person. I'm letting y'all know what their role is. You know what I'm saying? So when we start thriving and when we try to do some things, what will happen if we don't take into account that they will be coming from that angle? So that's another thing too. Don't underestimate white folks now. Don't underestimate them. Like, that's one thing you can't do. Like, that's one thing I will not do. I'm not gonna underestimate these white folks. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that at all. You know what I'm saying? We gonna show and prove. You know what I'm saying? We gonna manifest our reality, but I'm not gonna make the same mistakes my ancestors did, and I'm not gonna underestimate these white folks, man. I'm looking at them for exactly what they are. Man, Chris, I'm telling you, man, even like some of the HBCUs, quote unquote, like their curriculum is garbage. They ain't really teaching like the truth how they should. Like, stuff is crazy out here. Stuff is crazy out here, man. The whole the curriculum is garbage, man. As far as things that are being taught and things that need to be taught, the curriculum is horrible out here for the most part. So we definitely got to do a better job in regards to not only creating our own schools, but, man, make sure we teaching the truth. Like, teach the actual truth. Like, y'all just saw me pull up an article that's clear as day. Are they teaching that in schools, man? Are they teaching the article that I showed and proved, the article that I showed and read about 30 minutes ago? Like, are they teaching that type of stuff in schools? No. And this is facts. Like, I didn't bring up anything that was not a fact. Like, that article is filled with facts. Like, people that were living at that time, like, this is what they were saying. This is what they were documenting. You know what I'm saying? But they're not teaching that in school. Like, they're going to teach you about these people. They're going to teach you about Marco Polo, but they're not going to teach you about what Marco Polo said about black folks and how he felt and how he was praising them and worshiping. Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to teach you about Herodotus and Plato and Socrates and all these folks, but they're not going to tell you where they went and got their information. Like, that's ridiculous. And you can look this stuff up easily and find it. So that'd be my problem with the situation, man. Like we gotta teach the truth. Like the actual truth, actual facts, what we call actual and solar facts. Like we gotta teach that. We gotta teach it. And we gotta go hard teaching it. Oh yeah, Josh, for sure. Like I said, and that's why I go so hard. You know what I'm saying? Once the conditioning is broken, like the people that it's only on the people that break the conditioning, like that break the programming. Like we literally got to teach. You can't sit on it, man, because people need this information. People need to see this stuff. Like that article that I showed, man. There's people that probably didn't know that. For people that it's black people that probably didn't know, like, dad, man, they was viewing like in ancient China, like they weren't rocking with the the blonde hair, blue eyes. Like I didn't know that. in Southeast Asia, South Asia, like these people was blacker than me, like, and they was fooling with the color black. Like I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So we be having to teach it. We be having to teach that, man. Like that's why I go so hard trying to teach that information. Landon, man, definitely the trade. Like I said, man, only go to college if you literally need it to do what it is that you want to do. That's the way I view the situation, man. I got student loan debt right now that has not like, and I ain't even working in the fields that my degrees are in. You dig? So it's like that was wasted. You know what I'm saying? Like that was big time wasted, but it is what it is. But I didn't lack the proper knowledge, man. Like the people, like my peoples did not go to college, so they didn't know how to guide me through that process. So I definitely made a mistake in that process. But you live and you learn, though. Oh, Thunder Scorpion, man, dang. I feel like I'm just now finding out you went to Jackson State, but I feel like I already knew that. But yeah, I got a lot of people connected to Jackson State. Yeah, Goddess, man. Just shout out to Giant Africa too and whatnot, man. Move was that man. They was lit out here, man. That Move community was lit. But again, like I said, when they saw that community, they was like, nope. And I will give y'all some jewels about just like the prison system, like even within my culture, like the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths, man. They weren't even like once we start, y'all know we be speaking mathematically, and we what's today's math and things like that. Like when we was doing that in the prison system, man, they was trying to ban that. They didn't like us speaking in a language in which they did not understand. Like matter of fact, man, I don't even know if I got that book on me. It's a book that I showed on here, man. I think it's the spirituality of Africa or something like that, man. I forgot it, man. But I was tapping into that book, and that book was talking about the Portuguese and how they was treating the so-called the Africans at the time, and they was making the point. And this is going to have a lot to do with how we are today, our condition today. So they were saying when the African got the Portuguese, they was making it in a way to where they made the African identify as what is it, a Portuguese in Portugal, opposed to an African and like you know what I'm saying, an African where he was at. So he was like, no, you finna identify as Portuguese in Portugal, not as an African in Portugal. So they stripped their identity, stripped the culture. So now you got to identify as a Portuguese, even though you're not that. So that's how we have all these different ethnic groups, because they took black folks and they made them identify as wherever it was that they was at and not where they came from. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we have a lot of black folks that are like when you talk about Puerto Rican and things like that, and you have a lot of original people and they won't identify as black because they were trained to view themselves as Puerto Rican as if that's like different from being black. Like you can't be a black Puerto Rican. So that's how they did it. That's trick knowledge. Oh, you ain't, you Puerto Rican. And then you see a Puerto Rican that's the same color as me. You be like, man, you black. They're like, nah, I ain't black. I'm Puerto Rican. Like, nah, that's that confusion that they caused amongst the righteous. So then that started like in Portugal, man. They were saying, nah, you're not an African in Portugal. You are a Portuguese in Portugal. Like that's how they did this, man. So then you have people that look like me, that we are in all these different ethnic types. But then when you call that person black, they like, nah, I'm not black. I know y'all had this argument. I'm not black. I'm this, that, and the third. Man, you blacker than me. Like, yo, fam, like you literally jet black. What do you mean you not black? But again, like that's the type of trick knowledge that they done played out here, man. That's the type of trick knowledge that they done played. People don't be understanding what it literally means to be black though. And I've broken this down, and I will break it down again in the future. But I know y'all done ran across a person that identify with everything but black and they darker than you. I know y'all done, I know I ain't the only one that did that. I'd have been there, done that. I'd have had to school a few people on what we mean. But they like, man, I am not black. I am, man, I met a man, I forget. I think she was from like the Philippines or something, man. She was a customer at the bank, blacker than me. I'm talking straight blacker than me. Say black, nope, she is not black. I'm not that, nope. Man, I'm telling that lady blacker than me. But that stuff be funny though, man. That stuff be hilarious. But that's that trick. That's that trick knowledge though. Oh, Chris, for sure, man. That I ain't even use. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even use school for contacts, man. I was literally in school chilling. I was in school chilling. West college is what I'm talking about. I was like in college not tripping, but chilling. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to be there, man. I was just like, whatever, man. This is stupid. I literally understood that it was a game, so I mastered it. So college was easy because I pimped the system. Like I ain't even gonna tell y'all some of the stuff that I was on. I think I done told y'all already. But they straight thought I had a learning disorder. You know, I tricked them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna think we slow. Guess what? I was getting extra time on tests. Like I was getting all type of advantages because I was like, yeah, man, I think I got a learning disorder. So I played on it, man. I was getting extra time. I was able to take tests by myself, doing all type of stuff, man. I was getting all type of A's, and man, my grade point average was great. So I was like, oh, y'all want to play like a fool? Let's play that then. D Monty, peace. What's happening? Orlando, peace. Oh, nice, man. Hey, yeah, definitely identified black. Now that's what we do. Thunder, always they say, I'm not black. I'm American. That's probably the worst. That's probably the worst one. That's probably I'm not black. I'm American. Yeah, people will be everything but black though. Chrissy, peace. What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, people will be everything but black, literally. I'll let y'all know I'm black. I'm original. I don't care what y'all like. Whatever else you want to call me, that's cool. But I'm black. I'm original first before I'm anything else. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's what you're going to see first. You're going to see this skin. You're going to see this pigmentation. You know what I'm saying? Then when I talk, or you may see like, then you may be like, oh, okay, you might be this, that, and the third. But like, you're going to see me first. So we're going to identify as what we see first. I'm original. I'm black first. Like my essence is black. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we gonna deal with first and foremost. All the other stuff is cool after the fact. But I'm telling you, I'm black. I'm original first before I'm anything else. And that's how they gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's the cop ain't caring about none of that stuff, man. They see that you black first. They see that you are black first, and they're like off with his head. Off with his head. Rude boy, peace. What's happening? I would say, Chris, as far as like American, I wouldn't necessarily utilize that name though. You know what I'm saying? Because we definitely wasn't referring to it as America when we was here. Because you know how they got us, they got it. It wasn't even Africa really. Africa is not the correct name. Like even Egypt, like Ty Mary and stuff like that. Like we don't even like we literally using their names to define everything. Alkebalan. Like instead of Africa, it was really Alkebalan. So when we start saying stuff like Africa and Egypt and things like that, like we literally still we using their names. You know what I'm saying? Like even Africa, like man, that mother was Alkebalan. Like dudes weren't they weren't calling Africa a different name. Egypt, Mary, Kemet. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the names. You know what I'm saying? So even America, like man, we wasn't calling it America, but we definitely was utilizing like a lot of different terms that will equate to black or original. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Alkebalan, people rarely use that name. People rarely use that name. Like that's one of them ones you'll forget. Shout out to Dr. Ben. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Ben schooled me on Alkebalan, man. But when Alkebalan is the righteous name, is the right and exact name. But you know how they gotta do it. They gotta name every freaking thing. You know what I'm saying? They gotta name everything. So we use their language, subliminal programming type deal. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get us. But we definitely did, to your point, Chris, we definitely did build America, like for sure, right? That's right and exact 100%. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I gotta make a move, man. I didn't kind of build past the time I had. I gotta make this move, man. I got some more sessions here this evening. You know what I'm saying? So this is a nice build, man. We got some things. You know what I'm saying? We manifested some things, man. We showed and proved, brought some evidence to the table, brought some articles to the table. And I should go back and edit the description and put the link to the article in the description. And y'all saw the book that I recommended. If not, go back, rewind that joint. But I'm gonna go ahead and exit. So I appreciate, man, the donations, the comments, all that good stuff, man. It's a good build, man. I always love the build, man. The information that y'all putting in the streams, all that good stuff, man. So I'm out. Y'all be easy, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Thursday. I'm gonna tap in with y'all tomorrow for show. Then I'm gonna take a little break. So I'm gonna tap in with y'all tomorrow. Y'all enjoy the rest of the Thursday. I'm out. Peace.